contact system A+.
In food processing, freezing is a way of preserving food by lowering the temperature to inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Freezing is a phase transition in which liquid turns into a solid when its temperature is lowered below its freezing point. Freezing delays spoilage and keeps food safe by preventing microorganisms from growing and by slowing down the enzyme activity that causes food to spoil. In a direct system method, there is a direct contact between the food product and the medium used to lower the temperature of the product, which is practical and effective. The freezing medium, for example the refrigerant, completely surrounds the product to be frozen, which maximizes heat transfer efficiency since there are no barriers to heat transfer between the refrigerant and the food product. The product is carried on a conveyor through the entire freezing system, and low temperature air is directed over the product throughout the period of time of its stay in the freezing tunnel. Short freezing time or rapid freezing is caused by a combination of low temperature air, a high convective heat transfer coefficient, high air speed, and a small product shape.
First, to freeze food product from chill temperature to their desired storage temperature. Rapid cooling minimizes the loss from evaporation compared to a normal cool process. In addition, rapid cooling helps decrease the size of ice crystals that form in food and when it cooled and frozen. Second, rapidly bring down the temperature of content being stored. Third, to freeze several tons of product in as little as 24 hours. Next, to preserve nutrients in food. The speedy freezing process of the A+ provides benefit to both the consumer and the business as it effectively stops rapid nutrient. Lastly, circulate the air and accelerate heat transfer because of the high flow fans. The example type of A+, which is fluidized bed freezer. Fluidized bed freezer is a modification of A+ freezer. The high speed of air is directed vertically upward to the fluidized bed that carries product. The result in rapid freezing of product shape and size that can be fluidized.
Food particulates on a mesh conveyor operating platform. The airstream is in the upward direction. Velocity of air is adjusted to lift the product off the belt. Product tumbles in the air. Excellent heat transfer between air and product. Convective heat transfer coefficient 30 to 60 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. Product remains separated during freezing.
Next, the food is fluidized with air from -25 until -40 Celsius by raising the air vertically through a performance plate or band and through a bed of 2 until 20 cm of free food. In freezing, typical air velocity is between 2 until 5 m per s and typical bed depth is 2 until 30 cm. Lastly, fluidized bed freezing is limited to small fine food such as peas, sweet corn, kernel, shrimp, and strawberries. Advantage of direct fluidized bed freezer. Direct A+ can achieve good distribution of product and prevent clumping even with very wet incoming product. Direct contact system A+ was also rapid freezing. It can rapidly bring down the temperature to freeze the commercial food quickly. Next, the advantage of fluidized bed freezer is the surface of heat transfer is significantly enhanced. Higher heat transfer coefficient, shorter freezing time, higher production rate which is 10,000 kg H-1 and less hydration of unpackaged food and then less freezing.
Next is disadvantage of direct A+. Firstly, using air will limit the rate of heat transfer at the product surface required the use of substantial fan energy. Next, direct A+ difficult to achieve uniform air distribution. Evaporative weight loss can be happen from unwrapped product. Besides, the direct A+ requires the use of substantial fan energy for uniform distribution. Next, the A+ bulging of packaged product can occur. Frost prevention is needed, which can disrupt freezer operation. Other than that, the refrigeration system must operate with a low suction condition due to the air to the refrigerant heat exchange. Direct A+, difficult to use it correctly and efficiently.